Welcome to Young Money with Tracy Bissett, the advice show for young millionaires in the making. It's time for some $1 Million Straight Talk with Tracy, President and Chief Financial Fitness Trainer at Bissett Financial Fitness. Each week, Tracy's going to tell you what you need to know now at the beginning of your earning curve. Basic and advanced financial concepts made clear, healthy money habits and the missteps to avoid, and all the stuff that you can do to set yourself up for a future of fantastic financial freedom. Ready to lace up and start this week's financial fitness training? Let's do it, Tracy.
Welcome to the Young Money Podcast. You are listening to episode 135, How to Evaluate Your Financial Situation and Plan for Cash Control. As I record this in April 2020, we continue to face unprecedented times and rally together to stay home to stop the spread of COVID-19 and support the medical superheroes fighting the virus daily to keep us safe. Every day brings new developments personally, and tuning into the news can bring up feelings of anxiety, sadness, and overwhelm. Some of you are working a lot, some are recently unemployed, students may have had semesters canceled or are learning at a distance, and on it goes. Together, we are all facing this virus, but are coming at it from different circumstances. Financial situations are different, and so it is important to take stock of where you are. In episode 133, How to Be Financially Fit During a Global Pandemic, we talked about how important it was to, number 1, remain calm, number 2, assess the situation, and number 3, consult a professional. And last but certainly not least, to be sure to communicate with anyone you share a financial tie. Today, I want to help you get a better handle on your current financial situation, to be able to evaluate it and plan for control of your cash. Our new reality is settling in for at least the short term, and our initial shock and reactions worn off. We know this will not be forever, but we do need to assess and prepare for the current reality. I know that when episode 133 aired, it helped to ease concerns at the time and know that you are now trying to figure out how to make sense of your new normal. As we talk about regularly on the show, it is so important to know the real situation so we can focus on facts versus the worries we imagine. So let's get started. You may want to grab a piece of paper or pull out your phone to start recording these numbers. If you don't have them at hand, jot down the numbers you need and then look for the others later so you can fill in the blanks. I would suggest drawing 3 columns on the paper. The first for the categories is the info I'll give you. The second for the before situation, so before the virus came. And third for your current situation. So that's grabbing a piece of paper, draw 3 columns. In the first is the categories of the information I'll give you. Second is for your financial situation before, and third is for your current financial situation. So step number 1, we need to talk about inflows. And we need to talk about how much money is coming in per month. If you are employed in your same job with a salary, there should be no change. Many of you may not actually know how much comes in monthly, so why not take this opportunity to take a look at your pay stub and get very comfortable with how much money you make. If you work part-time or on contract, how much did you used to make monthly? How much do you expect to bring in now? Some of you will go down to 0, some of you will have no change, and some will actually increase. If you are no longer able to go into work, like as a restaurant server or a car dealership employee, this may be the case. Imagine the case of a grocery store employee. You are now working in an essential business and have been given an increase to your hourly rate to compensate for working during this time. Some financial services companies have even offered bonuses for frontline employees. So as you record the information, so column 1 is your monthly income, column 2 is the amount you made before, and number 3 is your expected amount you're going to make now. So remember, we are planning for our current situation, so let's not overthink it. Step number 2 is to talk about our outflows. So we need to assess how much money we have to pay out every single month. Think of the big things first. Where do you live? Do you pay rent or have a mortgage payment? Do you live at home? What utilities do you have? How about a car loan? Don't forget about insurance, cell phones, groceries, and anything else you need to pay, like payments on a credit card, student debt payments, maybe it's meals out, gifts, or clothes. A good way to find these numbers is to look through your bank statement and credit card statements online. As well, since we're going to be home for a prolonged period, are there any expenses on auto renewal that can be canceled or put on hold? Something like a gym membership where you can't go anymore. How about a transit pass? Imagine all the money you will save when you have no more daily coffee shop trips. So as you record the info, column number 1 is your monthly expenses, column 2 is the amount that you were paying out before, and column 3 is what you expect to pay out now. And so remember, we're planning for our current situation, so let's not overthink it. Step number 3, let's put it all together. So you're going to subtract your expenses from your income. So in column 1, you will write down net surplus or your net shortage. And then in column 2 and column 3, you're going to actually figure out what those numbers are. So what do those numbers show? If you were like a large percentage of the people in North America, column 2 probably showed that you didn't bring in enough money to cover all your expenses. If you've never done this exercise before, you may not have known that this was the case and may have been using your credit card or line of credit to cover the gaps. Now that situation may have worsened. It is okay to take a breath and sit with the data. Sit with those numbers and take it in. If you happen to have a large surplus, I would highly encourage you to double check the numbers. We often underestimate how much we spend. Step number 4. So what's next? It's time to make a plan for cash control over the coming months. If you see that you have a shortfall, how much is it? Do you have an emergency fund that can cover the gaps temporarily? Include that in your notes as a partial or full solution to that shortfall. If not, can you increase the inflows or the money that comes in? Can you reduce the outflows, that money that goes out? Some employers are hiring and new jobs are being created despite the circumstances. Can you safely obtain a new or second job? Do you have a skill set that allows you to start a side hustle? We talk about on the show side hustles all the time. Something that you could do online or could be done in the community? If so, add this to your notes as a partial or full solution. Many governments have instituted assistance packages to, number 1, provide some income replacement relief, and number 2, relief on outgoing payments like income and property taxes, even rent. Assess your personal situation against the various programs and see what programs you qualify under. It can be confusing to figure it out, so talk with friends, family, or colleagues to sort this all out. I have included a link in the show notes for Canada's federal programs, which includes frequently asked questions to help you make sense of everything. Be sure to apply when you are able and take action. What is the impact that these programs have on your shortfall? So next thing you can do is find out if your financial institution can provide any relief. If you have a mortgage, are you able to defer any of your principal or interest payments? How about if you have a credit card? Can the rate of interest you pay on your credit card be lowered? And so while it might seem like a given to take all or any of these options, you want to truly understand the implications, as some decisions may impact your credit score or see you paying much more interest in the long term. Factor this in now to your after scenario and see how things look. By following the process that we've discussed, determine what you need, then see what you're eligible for, and do whatever is required to make it happen. If you continue to have a shortfall, again, take a breath. Revisit your analysis at a different time to see if anything needs to be changed. Or you can move ahead and talk through it with a friend or family member. This may also be a good time to talk with a financial professional, whether it be a financial planner, credit counselor, or licensed insolvency trustee. Not sure what these people do? I've included some previous episodes in the show notes, so you can check out from Jackie Porter, from Credit Canada Debt Solutions, and from Doug Hoy's what a licensed insolvency trustee does, so that you can definitely check out who might be the right person for you. The exact same process can be followed if you have a business. Run through the exercise again, and then if there are shortfalls, look to see what government assistance is available. If you are an employer, if you are an entrepreneur or freelancer, there are many programs available ranging from wage subsidies, income replacements, to interest-free loans. Check it out and discuss it with your accountant to find out what makes the most sense for you and your business. I know we are in uncertain times, and now more than ever, it is so important to get the facts. Let's not worry about what if. Let's see what the situation really is, and then we can decide how to proceed. It is really important to focus on the reality and not worry about what might be the worst case scenario. Once we know, we can make a plan. And we've just talked through the process more specifically today to make this plan. So to recap, number 1, the inflows. How much money is coming in per month? Number 2, the outflows. How much money is going out per month? Number 3, what happens when we put it all together? And step number 4, now what? We've got to make our plan for controlling cash for the future. This may feel a bit overwhelming if it's a new process to you. Trust that the process works, and I guarantee that by knowing the facts, you can start to solve any real problems versus imagined ones that have been worrying you. You are not alone, and I am here to help. Feel free to send me a DM on any social platform with comments, questions, or concerns. Until next time, take good care and stay financially fit.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. To all you millionaires in the making out there, if you love this podcast, please subscribe on iTunes to keep your financial fitness training going. Oh, and leave us a review. And be sure to visit 2 S's, 2 T's, financialfitness.com to take your free financial fitness assessment. Find out how financially fit you really are. See you next week, young millionaires to be.